is a visual artist who studies journalism, but he decided more than a decade to discovering the mysteries of dance photography. Cuba on the Move has his story.
Use Cuban schools of ballet. To show their expertise, they don't have to dance in the elegant Gran Teatro Alice Alonso. They can delight the most demanding ballet humano by dancing in deep Havana. This time, they pose for the lens of Gabriel Davalos, a journalist in love with ballet who has been dedicated to dance photography for more than a decade.
I have had the pleasure of publishing books, of exhibiting in several cities around the world, of winning some awards, but what gratifies me the most is having exhibited in most of the cities of Cuba, in the squares, in the parks, that pleasure of accompanying people where daily life takes place and feeling accompanied, that's me.
He says that he came to photography by chance. He says that he was surprised by dance and ballet at the beginning of his career, and that for 10 years he was a photographer without a camera.
I like the metaphor. I was a photographer without a camera because I did it in my mind. That is, I had neither the camera nor the possibility of having one. But that didn't limit me to dream it, to fantasize when I saw a work, to imagine photographs both on a stage, and since then, the idea of living in the stage to use the language of dance and photography to tell the story of these times.
Davalos confesses that sometimes it takes him months to think about a series or a photo, which is why many of the snapshots he finally gets marked for him an era, a story, a feeling. But there is one in particular that reminds him of Cuba and the Cubans. It took him a year between conceiving the idea and finding the exact moment to take it.
And it's the one in which a dancer appears in the middle of the storm on the Havana Malecon. The Malecon overflowing, the stones on the streets, the waves breaking hard against the Malecon. And there is a dancer who is lying down, wet and holding on his wrists a dancer who seems to be dreaming, who seems to be flying. And I think that somehow that had to do with the whole history of the Cubans. Because we Cubans emerged from the resistance and the difficult times, the complex times, have not been an impediment to dream, to think, to believe in more, to have faith.
These days, Davalos Times is also occupied by another type of creation.
Just when the pandemic was beginning and we could already glimpse that these were going to be strange, difficult, different times, Gretel Molejon, the first dancer of the Cuban National Ballet, who also accompanies me in life, and I thought that we should find a project that would make us grow, and that is how we proposed to create a prototype of ballet shoes that would somehow represent the Cuban Ballet School, and that is where we are, in the final moments of that creation on a factory, and a small factory that aims to cover the demands for the ballet shoes.
The truth is that Davalos acknowledges that part of his success is due to having lost his head over a dancer.
They say I lost my head for a dancer, but they say wrong. I fell in love with all the dancers. It is a Cuban robbery. Although there is some truth in the fact that I have lost my head for a dancer, and that I fall in love all the time with all the dancers because it is the way I have found that romance. But that romance from the intellectual, from the thought, to connect with that sensitivity that dance has to communicate, to accompany, just to save. I think it is a symbolic, metaphorical way to show what dance means to me, in this of telling the story of the Cubans.
In these difficult times that Cuba is going through, Davalos says that he is pleased to continue taking his art to the most popular places. It happens that in his photos, the scenarios are as protagonist as the dancers who, he warms, are just a pretext to tell the story of his people. He confesses that he is interested in reflecting all Cubas. That's why in each image, the spectator can discover sensations, experiences, joys, sadness, pain, but a lot of faith.
Fabiola López, teleSUR.